Daniel here again, and welcome back to the Sales Copy Worksheet. Today we'll be finishing it up with part 4. The first part of this is our mega video sales letter script, which is a set of questions that will fill out our Mad Lib style script for the videos, which will go on the top of each of your sales pages, or actually specifically, this script is going to go for the very first sales page. So the first product, the first set of bonuses, all that, the easy yes set of products and bonuses. And the second half of this is going to be for an email sequence, which will be sent to your clients after they buy a product as a way to keep retention and to onboard them into your whole ecosystem. So let's get started. There will be probably a lot of stuff that is somewhat duplicate or, is asking similar questions as before. So this is because these scripts are actually going to cover all the same stuff again in just a different format. So if you see something that seems like this was already asked in previous days, you can probably just fill in pretty much the same thing and you'll be fine. So to start with, what is your name or company name? Usually you just want to put your name in there. If you're associated with a brand that you want to promote, you might say, your name of that brand, or you can just say that brand, either's fine. Next is, what do you do for this target audience? So this is a quick one-sentence introduction to your whole thing, what you do. This is known oftentimes as an elevator pitch. So for instance, I have entrepreneurs just like you go from blank screen to compelling content, making sales messages at the push of a button, right? So pretty succinct, and it can be a little bit colorful as long as the audience knows what you're doing. You're introducing to somebody that knows nothing about you what your whole product line is about. Next is, what is the topic of your software? Service or product, book, etc. So your main product, 2-3 words, what's the main topic that it covers? So for sale by owner, book writing, video blogging, executive coaching, whatever it is, put it there. Next, what is the name of your product, service, software, book, etc.? So this is the name of your Easy Yes product. How much does your product, service, book, etc. cost in terms of money? So this is just, it can be just the price, so $7 to $10, whatever you chose. Another good thing to put here is actually a comparative, so less than a cup of coffee, less than a breakfast out. Ideally, something that somebody in that market would be thinking of doing. So like if let's say you're pitching a course on how to hire people for your company, be more effective, say less than the cost of an hour's wages, right? Or less than the cost of one mistake, whatever the mistake is that they might make. Comparing it to something, even if it's a relatively large price, in this case it isn't, but even if it's a relatively large price, comparing it to something that they're used to spending money on is a really good way to make it seem like it's nothing, right? Especially if it's something that you're going to save them from doing, a mistake you're going to save them from doing, because they're saying, oh, well, I can make the mistake or I can just buy this product, so it's basically free. So something to think about. If that doesn't come as something obvious to you what that would be, then you can just put the price there. How much time does this take to start getting results from your product? So this is as soon as they can reasonably see some benefit from what they've done. So it could be an hour, it could be a few minutes. It could be the next time that they would use this. So if you're talking about dating advice, this weekend, you could see results this weekend or tonight or your next date, something that is relevant to what they're using. Or say the hire example, if it's, you could say, the next time you hire somebody, you will get results. And this doesn't mean they're an expert or a master or they finished the whole course or anything like that. This is just when they would potentially see results. So weight loss, it might take a week, but you'll lose weight the first week guaranteed, kind of a thing. Anyway, so they give examples almost immediately, less than a couple of weeks, less than the time it takes to bake a cake. So you can also use a time comparison like we use a price comparison to something they normally do. So if you're talking about how to get, write a better report or write a better article, you can say in less than the time it takes for you to write an article, we can teach you how to write it, 10 times as good, that's the idea. So who is your target niche? You've already done this, 2 to 3 words, singular. How do you describe what your typical ideal customer wants? So this is kind of they're a little bit farther goal. So write a great book, get more clients, get their house sold. We've done this. What is the number of money immediate result that they want right now? So this is the right away. So they may want to get married, but to start with, they want to get a boyfriend, or they may want to be an expert author. But to begin with, they need to actually find a publisher or write the first chapter. So this is the shorter term goal that they are immediately seeking. Even if it's not the right thing to be seeking, by the way, as long as it's what they are currently seeking, this is what you want to talk to them about. What is the problem your avatar needs to solve? So again, usually into a result, to get a result, there's a problem that the result that's in the way, right? So if they're trying to write an article, well, they got writer's block. If they're trying to have a great boyfriend, well, they can't meet any guys, something. So we've probably already done this a ton, but so this shouldn't be too hard. So you can go look back to the previous days, but that's what we want here, because we're developing a story in this video sales letter about you're like this, you've encountered this, you want this, this is the goal, this is how you're going to get there, which is what we're selling them. What's the main solution your product offer gives in a silver platter? So my product makes it easy for you to blank. Use free sites to advertise your house to get it as a hidden gem, write a great book. So if you're taking a little bit of an alternate route, what the mainstream thinks is the normal way, or what the average client of yours would think is the normal way, this is the place to advertise that a little bit. If not, you're just reiterating, I'm going to get you this. What negative person, thing, or circumstances do they believe is working against them? So this is their adversary. So it might be traditional publishing. It might be the establishment, whoever it is, GQ and their beauty standards, whatever they think is working against them. This is what we want to put here. Again, we've done this kind of thing in previous worksheets, so this shouldn't be too difficult. Why is this hurdle such a huge deal for your target audience? And so if it's the form, this hurdle is a huge deal for you because, and so you're basically describing in a visceral sense what you've put for the previous answer. So if, publishers are their big adversary, then why is that a hurdle for them? Well, publishers control everything and you can't get your book published, even though it's really good, they won't even read it. So then in that case, you might be saying the product might be something along the lines of how to get publishers to read your book, right? So other examples, if you don't already have clients, it's very hard to get credibility, right? So chicken and egg type situation, it's hard to stand out from the crowd of authors. Next question, how does this hurdle keep them or hurt them, remove them from getting results they want? So now we're building at pain. So we've described the hurdle and we're saying, okay, this is why it's not getting results. If you can't list your house on MLS, then how are you going to buy it or get top-notch buyers? If you can't get a publisher to read your book, how is how's it going to get published and everyone's going to know that you're such a great author because they're standing in your way? Next question, what's an idea your target audience believes is true but actually is completely wrong? So this is where we're breaking entrenched beliefs, because people come in thinking, in my perspective, generally people have they're not achieving goals that they want because of a mental break, right? If other people are doing it, they can do it, or you can do it. So if that possibility is there, why aren't we achieving what our goals? And it's usually because we don't believe that we can, and it's because we tell ourselves stories, some of which may not actually be true. And so I think if you've been working with clients or you're familiar with your customers, you believe things as an expert, or they believe things that you know is not true as an expert. So this is where you would be hitting them right in the face of what they believe is true but is not true, right? So they might think, for an example, selling a home without an agent is really hard. Well, you can say, hey, it's actually not that difficult. They make it look difficult, but there's really not much to do, right? Or talking to women isn't really that difficult. You just need to know how to get started, right? So this is a very key part to making these video sales letter effective, is where we're breaking those limiting beliefs. Next question, what is the absolute number one coolest result your target audience can get? So now we're looking onto the future, and we're flipping the script on the story. So it starts with the verb, so my product makes it easy to blank. Sell your house for top dollar, establish credibility as an instant coach, right? Get your book published. And then we're doing a number two. So we want to stack these results one on top of the other. So then another thing, and then another result. So a third result, excuse me, and then a fourth result, right? So it's just going to make this product just seem so amazing because they are seeing all these results stacked on top of each other, but it's basically the same concept. Actually 5 results, so perfect. And then bottom line, when all is said and done, what is your able to do? So now we're talking about, they've gotten the result that they're looking for, right? So they met the guy that they want to meet. And now what do they get to do with that? Well, they get to live in the house of their dreams and have the family life that they've always wanted. And they get to brag to their friends, right? That's the kind of visceral feeling of being in that place that you want to impart. It's not just the goal that they're aiming at. You're now filling in all around it. And then, so there's Bottom line 1, bottom line 2, it's all the same idea. We're just filling in those different details in bottom line 3, right? And then we've completed that beautiful story. And so these videos are not very long, and this script's going to just make it super easy to write a compelling script for you to read, and so that you can actually impart the buying emotion. So quick tidbit, most people buy on emotion, and the facts in the buying page that we're going to be putting in there are just to convince them or help them convince their loved ones and family members why they did it, right, to sell the rational side. But the majority of buying decisions are made by the emotion. So we're building this story in their minds of how this product helps them get from where they are to where they want to be. And that's that arc. So now we're going to move on to the email sequence. So first of all, what is the product again? This is just the name of Easy as product. What is the thing? So if it's a course, if it's a video, if it's a membership, just put that verb there or a couple of verbs. What is the main keyword phrase? So this is probably going to be the same as the one above, but what's the, a couple words that describes what the thing is or what the area of your service is. What's the name of the first name email? So unless you have somebody else you're working with, that will be your name. But whoever the email is ostensibly from. What's the title of the person? So author, owner, creator, whatever you want to call yourself. So this link will go to your funnel itself. So if you have a domain, I would put funnel at whatever.com of the product. If you're not sure, just leave that blank and we'll add that in later. Because we're going to be doing funnels in 3 weeks from this week. What is the one thing that your product or service does for them? So this is just a few words and a very succinct summary of what they actually get, what the product allows them to do. We did a bunch of this in the previous section, so this should be pretty easy. What's the big payoff? So with this, you can blank. Again, kind of a more succinct repeat of what we did above. What's the pain you can help them avoid? Again, very similar to what we did above. So you're going to want this to be maybe a bit of a rephrasing, but it's the same idea. What emails should they whitelist? So this is an email you'll be sending from ostensibly. These emails will be automated, but so if you have an email account at your domain, I would use that. So I tend to use my name, like Daniel at overcomingtoxicpeople.com. If you have an email you use frequently that you use for business, you can just put that here. If you don't have anything like that, you're using a Gmail, you can just use info at one of your domains, and we can set that up. Link to your Facebook. So if you have a Facebook page, put that here. If you have a group, you can put that here. I would recommend you put the page first. If you don't have anything, then don't worry about it. Again, Twitter. If you have a Twitter account, put that here. If you don't have one, don't worry about it. If you have another thing like an Instagram or I don't know, Pinterest or anything else you want to show them, you can stick that in here as well, and we'll edit it when the copy comes out. So what's the first thing they should do right after they buy or sign up? This is going to lead them to actually get engaged with the course. So for most people, we recommend you do like an hour video for this first bonus. So what they're going to want to do is log into the back end and watch that video. So I would put that something like that here. If you have an exercise you want them to get started with, you can put that here. But this should really be just an easy way for them to jump in and start working with the easiest product that you just sold them. Where should they go for help? So you would either want to put a web page here. So if you have a web page, have them contact you, or like with the contact form on your WordPress site, that's a place you can send them to. Otherwise, you can just send them to your email, or you can make a separate support email at one of your domains. That's totally fine. Or you can send them to your Gmail or whatever you want. It's pretty much up to you, one of those things. What's the single most important thing they should do first? So let's say you sent them to the main page, right, or the main product. This here is like a second imperative and maybe giving them a second choice. So if you have a short like onboarding or one of your bonuses has a short little worksheet to do, or something quick, I would throw that in here and be like, oh, make sure you do this too. So it's highlighting the bonuses and it gives them something else to do if that first video didn't really catch their attention. What should they do? Why should they do this thing above? So you're just explaining what the benefit of accomplishing, listening to that bonus or doing that bonus worksheet is. So what's the Epiphany Bridge origin story behind the service? So what's an Epiphany Bridge is a story in the form of I was in this state. I encountered a problem. Um, this problem had XX consequences for my life. Then I had an epiphany. Something hit me, even if it didn't in real life hit you, super quickly. But you can frame it as, suddenly the light turned on. Then I did this, X, Y, Z. It could be one thing. It could be three things. Nothing more than that. Then my life changed in this way, and this way. So that is your story about how you came up or how you got into producing this product or service. And, in real life, we generally don't have like these beautiful epiphany moments that are easily explained in 15 minutes. You're going to have to summarize probably years of your life into what seems like a short period of time to formulate the story in a compelling way, generally. But that's what you want. You're explaining to them, one, your backstory, so they're getting to know you, and two, why they should believe you, why they should listen to you, and why this product is valuable to them, because you've had this experience and you can get them past it much more quickly. Here, what's the coolest bonus to get? So choose one of the 5 bonuses and talk about, well, just put the name in here, right? And then the next question is, what's the big payoff? So now you're just selling them on this bonus. Why is it cool? What are they doing with it? So just a few sentences here about what the benefit of that bonus is. And then what does this bonus help them with? This incredible bonus will help you. So yeah, you know what? This first question actually, this is the short one. So this is just a few words about what it does for you, and then you're describing why it's beneficial in the second one. So this is the longer one. How does bonus help them? Next, we're going to share a case study of a product and service in action. So you had a client where this worked for. You don't have to put any names or anything like that, but you just give a short summary of their story and what benefit they got from using, it's not necessarily this exact product because we've made it up probably now, but the same concepts, the same tools, right, you've been using ideally or probably for quite a while because you've included them in your course. So this is where you would describe somebody else getting the benefit. Now, if you've never worked with anybody before and you don't know of anybody that maybe isn't even your client, but it has used these same concepts before or the same ideas before to achieve a result, then you can always use yourself. But ideally, you'll find somebody else. So next, what is a speed hack with your product or service? So this is just a little tidbit about how they could do things faster. So, maybe they'll take notes, or maybe they should practice what you teach every little bit, or, maybe they need to do a diary, something that you can throw them that's like, hey, this is a cool, quick little way to just get double the results or, 10% faster of the results you get normally. Next, what's some existing content you'd like to share? Take a peek at these. So I'll just throw a couple of your most popular blog posts here, put their title and link, and just say, hey, check out these blog posts. I think they would be very helpful to you. Lastly, how can they give you feedback? So you can just say, hey, reply to this email if you have any questions or give me some feedback. Or you can, you don't need to give that full sentence. You just say reply to this email, or you can say go to this web page if you have a form on your WordPress site. Any of those things work. So that is it for the sales copy worksheets. Again, if you have any questions, you can reach out to me or Dave. I'll let you know how to do that. And best of luck.